this week's video, Dave meets a movie giant, Tesla shows its true colours, and the British weather strikes again. Our pricing video brings you far more than just the prices. Well, each month we visit and try dozens of EV chargers, and we've seen it all. Tariffs to baffle Carol Vorderman, scenery that best suits Heathcliff, and heavy cables that required us to bring Hulk Hogan out of retirement. As always, we include chapters for the impatient. Well, our journey began at Tesla. The newest supercharger, open to all CCS2 EVs, is opening in the shadow of Etihad Stadium, where Manchester City play, having just won the league. I doubt very much whether many United fans will charge here, but luckily they're going to get their own. There's a new supercharger under construction in the shadow of Old Trafford, a few miles away. Not to be confused with the Trafford Shopping Centre, open to all, also a few miles away. And Tesla pricing can confuse you if you're new to Tesla superchargers. They operate different tariffs at different times of the day, peak, off-peak, and a really silly off-peak. And there are different tariffs depending on whether you're a Tesla supercharger member or not. All Tesla drivers already are. We'll count down from 63 pence for a non-member just turning up at peak time with a contactless card through off-peak time, 42 pence for a non-member, right down to a non-Tesla owning driver who is a supercharger member arriving at the charger at 2 a.m. and paying a really ridiculous 22 pence per kilowatt hour. Well, for non-Tesla drivers, 22 pence is cheaper than charging at home if you're on standard variable tariff. But 2 a.m? Only the really dedicated few will be seen at that time. But elsewhere, prices are much simpler, with just normally a peak and an off-peak rate. UK average for peak is about 30 or 40 pence, and off-peak is 40 to 50 pence. But beware! Check the prices before charging at the Trafford Shopping Centre, for example, as the supercharger there has the third dearest Tesla peak price in the UK. But it's also got some really good shopping. Instavolt are on the move, with installations going in all over the country, including breaking ground for a new super hub just north of Winchester. But beware, they are an eye-watering 85 pence per kilowatt hour. Well, at least they try to offset that by giving you value for money, by keeping you there for twice as long, as they install nothing more powerful than 160 kilowatts anywhere. These really are like the tortoise versus the hare when you look at other CPOs. Oh, by the way, CPO is charge point operator, fancy way of saying a charging network. The units are basic but reliable while giving you a gentle workout. The cable is quite thick, inflexible, while the plug is quite heavy and bulky. Not the worst we've come across this month. Newcomer took that title, and they'll be exposed later. Instavolt do claim bragging rights with being declared the CPO with the most rapid and ultra-rapid chargers by ZapMap. A dubious honour, rather depends on if you want speed or choice. And recently they were highly commended in the Renewable Energy Awards 2024. Well, regarding locations, they're often found gathered together in small groups outside McDonald's or Costa stores, so there's nice things to do while you top up. Hey, maybe they're working together as a team. McDonald's lures you there, then Instavolt keeps you there most of the afternoon, leaving you nothing to do but head into McDonald's and wait and wait. Well, probably best take the kids or the grandkids with you. They certainly will appreciate the Happy Meals. Instavolt offer no membership, no time tariffs. You get a really simple, it's 85 pence, dummy, no matter who you are, what you drive or what time you get there. By the way, this new installation, we filmed at a new location in... Sorry, we seem to have a bit of audio drop out there. Can anyone out there reveal where this actually is, where we were? Oh, and by the way, there's a clue in the video opening paragraph. We might dot a few other teaser locations later in the video. Well, Gridserve deserves a massive thank you for reassuring us that EV and EV chargers are perfectly safe to use in the pouring rain we've been having this month. It's June. They state that all cables, plugs and sockets are totally dead until the car tells the charger it's okay to turn on the power, and they're all isolated. Great news, they now have 180 locations and a massive 1,300 chargers, many of them the 350 kilowatt or the new 360 kilowatt flagship models. It's a real shame the grid and the DNOs can't keep up in a timely manner, as many of these more powerful units are not yet able to run at full power, as we found out at Southwaite. But credit for declaring them to be at the reduced power on the website. Prices are now definitely over budget, 79 pence per kilowatt hour, no memberships. Many of our viewers are very keen to find out how they're going to tackle the developing price war with locations like Frankley Services, southbound on the M5, where their 79 pence on their brand new installation is outmatched by Tesla's turn up and charge price of 59p off peak. Well, you promised us a membership scheme on your website well over a year ago. That's no longer mentioned. Maybe now is the time to launch it. Get your prices down. Allow some of the faster charging cars to use your 360 kilowatt, which is available on your flagship models, versus Tesla's Mega 250 kilowatts. Or how about the much touted auto charge, where you remember the car details and next time you just plug and charge. No cards, no contactless. And time's running out, as we believe the Tesla price is an anomaly. Being the dearest by far in the whole of the UK, surely they will sooner or later drop that to match their other superchargers with an average price of 30p off peak. Gridserve, what are your plans? Well, heading back into countdown territory with the numbers round is Ionity. They now have 204 high-power chargers scattered across the country, 29 locations, and further 17 under construction. They are the favoured CPO of the legacy manufacturers, and they're keeping growing. Check your offers when you pick up your new EV. It is likely you're going to have a special charging offer included from Ionity. Price now almost needs a maths degree to work, but it is worth it. Most manufacturers, including Ford, BMW, Mini, or Audi, Hyundai, Kia and Porsche, offer a starter discount or free membership or the like. Prices are a standard 74 pence per kilowatt hour, but those offers can drop that to as little as 30 pence in the first year. That's about as low as it goes for the first year. But then the fun starts. Grab a membership. 2 are on offer, Motion and Power. The Motion user gets to pay £5.49 a month, discounted in the first month to £3.88, and then pays just 53 pence per kilowatt hour all that month. The Power user gets to pay £10.50 a month, discounted to just £7 in the first month, then pays just 43 pence per kilowatt hour. They claim, and we agree, that Motion Passport requires just 1 charging session per month, around 50 kilowatt hours, to break into a profit, where the savings exceed the monthly fee. Power users pay more but get more, and here just 3 charges per month break you out into easy profit. Put simply, if you charge once a week, feel the power. The units are generally 350 kilowatt and ideally suited to the new breed of 800 volt architecture EVs like the Kia and Porsche. And while you're on the site, you maybe check out their route planner in beta. Let them know how you get on with it. Well, sadly, our all-time favourite service stations, run by the Westmorland family, and with chargers run by Westmorland themselves as their own CPO under the name of Westmorland Charging, also win the award for the heaviest cable and plug we have yet found. Kenn Lodge takes that award. Steve Austin might be held back in reserve just in case. Oh, by the way, other locations with the same chargers seem to be noticeably lighter and more manoeuvrable. Cable is seriously supported, and that's taking most of the weight, but it is still unwieldy. Chargers, however, absolute work of art. They feature a brilliant 32-inch LCD touchscreen. It's almost worth getting out your deck chair and seeing if $6 Million Man is back in the repeats. Well, Westmorland Charging charge a reasonable 64 pence average price per kilowatt hour, and Kenn Lodge itself is well worth a visit as it's the only hydrogen powered EV charger that we have found, hydrogen generator running the chargers. But the newer charging location is where me, a wannabe YouTube star, met a real giant of the big screen. Talk about getting photobombed. Warwick Davis is a really great person and must be a favourite for all sci-fi fans. I think he just saw the camera and raced into action. Thanks, Warwick, for taking the time to have a chat and for letting me use this footage. Well, Westmorland is also the centre of a charging pricing storm, like Gridserve. Pricing here is heading towards crisis as Westmorland charge 64 pence and Tesla, open to all, non-member charges a massive 75 pence at peak time. Well, that makes this supercharger the dearest in the UK at peak times. That's not going to last forever, as we think it's just a Tesla concessionary expensive price so as not to take all the business away from Westmorland. But as the dearest in the UK, it will not attract many Teslas as Bristol, Michaelwood and Franklin services are all within reach and much cheaper. So it's fascinating to see what's going to happen with prices at this location with Westmorland Charging. It will also be fascinating to see if Kenn Lodge will be one of the very first EV charging locations to go completely off-grid. Simply add a solar PV farm, a wind turbine or two and use your hydrogen as a backup. Must be very tempting. EV Point is simply no more. It has ceased to be. It's defunct. Oh, okay. It's changed its name to EV on the Move. The local charger just up the road began life as an EV Point with their dual 180 kilowatt chargers, but ripped them out before they were even connected, then replaced them with the Tesla V4 chargers. These are rated at 250 kilowatts each. Price is very reasonable, 65 pence per kilowatt hour, and on motorways they have a habit of sticking up a giant pole with a brightly illuminated price sign on top of them, highly visible from the motorway. What a great addition. EV on the Move were also one of the first to sign a contract with Tesla to supply the chargers themselves, but talking to the Tesla commissioning engineer, it seems Tesla will offer ongoing support, bring it into the Supercharger network for repairs and servicing. Should make EV on the Move actually ultra reliable. And as an added bonus, many of the locations have a cracking device lodged in between the chargers that incorporates an airline, no, for your tyres silly, plus a hoover, yeah, for your EV, and the first for me, a fragrancer. Go and check them out. Use them and you'll leave the charger cleaner than when you arrived. Yeah, probably your EV as well. Tesla drivers will love EV on the Move chargers, the V4s, because if you are in a Tesla car, you can use these as if they were a Tesla supercharger. Just plug in, charge, drive off. Unfortunately, Tesla will charge your account with the EV on the Move 65p, not whatever the Tesla rate is at the next nearest Tesla supercharger. Can't have it all. This also features one of the few drive-through ultra-rapid chargers specifically designed for vans, lorries, but caravans. Well, location number 2 might just baffle a few of you. Not the charger this time, but the adjacent services. You see, even those who sit in their cars while charging and watch YouTube or Netflix will take a comfort break, have a pee. So visitors here will recognise this. MFG, a direct competitor to the EV on the Move, both operating fossil fuel forecourts and EV chargers. But the chargers here are mid-range, topping out about 100 kilowatts for the 400 volt brigade, and the 800 volt fan kilo can get a staggering 150. Nowhere near the 250 and above that some of them can now drag out of the other plugs. Prices are decidedly unexciting, 79 pence per kilowatt hour. Such a shame that MFG tend to stick their EV chargers so near to their petrol and diesel pumps and not far from the lorry pumps. Billy Bunter would be proud of the stink they exude. MFG have very distinctive colours. I like them. They're also easy to spot when you pull in to charge. They also have a canopy, and a proper one at that. Absolutely essential now we've entered June. Rain was torrential this morning. Not so good is the reliability. It still seems they want to make most of their money from petrol, diesel in the shop, so servicing and repairs seem to take a bit of a back seat, with some chargers down for several days. MFG have an absolutely amazing expansion plan in place that is already under construction. They aim to take over as the largest charger network in the UK, and good luck to them. We need as many as we can get. Just maybe have a look at your prices. You're too dear. Think about your petrol prices. I bet you're not the dearest in the area. Why on earth would you expect any business at all from EV drivers if you are the dearest EV charger price in the area? Duh. Drop your prices, sell more electricity, but at slightly lower profit margins. Fastned are one of the boldest colour schemes in the UK and make the boldest claim. We are nature inspired. I love them. But obviously you don't judge a CPO by its colour. And they are nice colours. The chargers are generally 300 kilowatt dual bay, meaning you get the full 300 kilowatts if you're all alone, but around 150 each if you share. These are a great speed for most, and the screens are amazingly informative. You really should read these while you're charging. You would learn something. Fastned charges a sort of reasonable 69 pence per kilowatt hour, but offers two goodies. Well, three if you include their website. This has to be one of the best of all the CPOs. Well, the first offer thing is a membership. Pay a £9.99 monthly fee and you get a massive 30% off that price. That's a crash and a bang down to 48 pence per kilowatt hour. Like all memberships, just one charge of 50 kilowatt hour per month puts you into profit, while a fourth charge in the month is beginning to look like a savings account. Pay in £9.99 and you save £42 a month. Next they'll be taxing you on it. If you're bored one day, have a look at their website. It can keep you amused for hours. It's rather like that kiddies card I saw a while back saying, how to keep a child amused for several hours, please turn over. And you can guess what the other side says. No? Sorry, if you couldn't, it also said, how to keep a child amused for several hours, please turn over. The website's genuinely interesting. It will keep you interested. There's an absolute mass of data and knowledge. I do wish there was standardisation though. I visited the Cornish Fastned location. It absolutely tipped down with hailstones. Probably June again. And this was one of those that doesn't actually have a canopy. It just has the supports. And no, it seems it's always been like that. But next we're going to have fully working auto charge. Check the website for details. It'll keep you amused for several hours. Well, you activate auto charge on your app. You go to a Fastned charger and you use the app to charge. But, and this is the big but, it then asks you if you'd like Fastned to store all your details. So yeah, definitely yeah, do it. Because it stores your data. So seriously, it stores your car ID, it stores your name, and it stores the payment method you just used to pay for that charging session you've just finished. And from now on, your non-Tesla EV acts like a Tesla. You arrive at any Fastned charger anywhere in Europe, you plug it in, the charging starts, magic. And when you unplug, it says, go, get out of here, your card's no good at this charger. You literally unplug and drive off. Payments taken automatically, and it's usually before you even leave the location. It's a kind of magic, as Freddie would say. Osprey's gearing up to soar above all the others, up where they belong. Oh, and only an officer would know that. They're installing large numbers of really great Kenn power chargers. These are but dual power, single bay but dual power, with both 400 volt and 800 volt capability. Plug in an ancient jalopy like mine, 400 volts, and you'll get 150 kilowatts, which is a good rate. But plug in an 800 volt Porsche Taycan or like, and that soars to where it belongs at 300 kilowatts. These are stylish, amazing chargers with their iconic arch spring support. I would have wished it was done for aesthetic reasons instead of being essential, as the cables and plugs are a bit hefty. And that describes the price, a hefty 79 pence, 24,365. No fuss, no variation, no membership, 79p. Once again, these chargers are a mine of information should you choose to explore them via the touchscreen. They also locate them in some beautiful places. You simply must visit the Salmon's Leap hub in Buckoke in Devon on the A38 if you're heading down to Devon or Cornwall. It's a superb stop. Spoiled only by the price. 79 pence is simply too dear and spoils the experience. This is only the first of several hubs under construction. Facilities are ideal, scenery is stunning, right on the edge of Dartmoor National Park, where you might just find Cathy or a really large and vicious hound late at night. The hubs are leaping up everywhere, and 10 or more powerful chargers at each location is no longer unusual. As also no longer unusual are caravan bays where you don't have to unhitch. Well, this is worth a visit for the scenery, even if you don't need to or can't afford to charge here. Well, Sainsbury's got a surprise in store for EV owners, rather out in the car park, as they are now installing the gorgeous Kenn power chargers as part of their own network. Sainsbury's has become a CPO. You'll find 6, 8 or even a dozen 300 kilowatt chargers, and they give a massive charge very quickly. You might just need to scoot round the supermarket a bit smartish, like Dale Winton, or your EV will be finished long time before you are. Price is interesting, as there is, as yet, little competition from other supermarkets. They charge 75 pence, offer no memberships, but I suspect they may offer nectar points in the near future. That'll be interesting. They certainly do that with their fossil fools. The layout is superbly stylish and well spaced and marked out. Just far enough from the entrance so as not to upset the anti-EV brigade, claiming preferential treatment, but near enough for those not so able as others. On that point, the bays are flat, no curbs or ramps, and the Kenn power chargers have the contactless terminal really low down. Some thought has gone into these. Which is a bold move from the supermarket, but I believe they've done their research and seen a gap in the market. See, most people do shop at least once a week at a supermarket, and while you may not specifically choose to go and charge there at these prices, they offer just enough of a discount to make many people think, oh, sod it, can't be bothered looking elsewhere to save a few pence, I'll charge here. Well, in time, I believe the other supermarkets will catch on. At present, they simply rent out some of their car park space to CPOs, but they too could end up as CPOs themselves. And then the price wars will really begin, just like it did with petrol. Well, for this undisclosed location, you'll find no tigers or sharks here. Well, Three Amigos are bringing up the rear of this week's episode. Apple Green is shipping chargers over from the States. Neat and powerful, they offer 180 kilowatts of dedicated power, no sharing, but the price is an unimpressive 77 pence per kilowatt hour. Although if you're prepared to give away all of your personal details and use their app, I definitely am not, they offer you a 2p off discount. Well, it's a pretty attractive colour scheme, I like them. Bays are marked out really well and clearly. BE.EV, what a name, has dropped prices for ultra-rapid charging from an embarrassing 82 pence on launch down to a 65p off-peak rate. I'd like to think they've seen the light. I fear they just weren't getting anyone to use them at the old price. Look to Lidl and Aldi. Sell cheap, but sell lots. And zap me literally. Well, run out of power, coast to a halt on the side of the road, and one of a number of mobile chargers with hefty batteries on board will now be available to get you going. This one features a 50 kilowatt CCS2 charger, adding to my car, adding 15 miles in just a few minutes, and it actually completed over 50 miles in 20 minutes. By the way, ZPN make this available for home use with a 50 kilowatt hour battery and a 50 kilowatt hour charger. Yeah, charge up the battery at 7.5p overnight, then rapid charge your car anytime you want. Well, EV charging prices are just starting to fall. Let's encourage them by avoiding using the dearer CPOs. I deliberately have ignored the likes of Shell Recharge and BP Pulse, as long as they generate most of their revenue and profits by raping and plundering the planet for its ancient riches. I urge all to avoid them. People power is such a powerful force that we use far too seldom, and often for entirely the wrong reasons. Well, our final undisclosed location allows you to lose yourself for a short while. Well, if anyone does want to take part, the undisclosed images are all taken at EV chargers, are scattered throughout the country, so if you want to find them all, you've got to travel a little bit to catch them all. No prizes for guessing one or two, but if anyone can correctly name all of them, the first one to post a comment with the correct answers will get a big shout out on the channel. Have fun. I'm Dave.